Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am Cassie. I've been barrel racing for about 10 years. I love to post about my barrel racing journey on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it may be. And my most asked question by far is, how do I start barrel racing? How do I get into this? What are some tips for beginning barrel racers? So I definitely want to start out by saying I am no professional by any means. I've just been doing this. I know what works pretty good. I've seen people come into the rodeo industry and leave the rodeo industry pretty dang fast because they get discouraged. I do not come from a rodeo family in particularly. Obviously, if y'all can't tell, I'm in a barn right now, which my dad did build. He is a farmer. He had acres of land before I even had horses or before we even thought about getting horses. So I definitely had like the land, the equipment, the barn space to have what I do have. But mainly the thing that I'm just trying to get across to y'all is that I'm not from a rodeo family. I had to figure out how to do a lot of the things that I'm doing, and my horses are not $50,000 horses. I bought my first horse when I was 11 years old for $350. I bought that horse before I even knew that I was going to be a barrel racer. And when I decided I was going to be a barrel racer, that is when this barn behind me got slapped full of sorrel mares, and I picked out ones based on their pedigree. But needless to say, I had to figure out a lot of this by myself. I'm very thankful for having the opportunities that I do have with a family who is really supportive financially and, you know, mentally, physically, everything else, to just help me out, because I definitely would not be here, would not be talking to y'all, would not have these opportunities without the people behind me. With that being said though, let's get into the tips for beginning barrel racers. I'm gonna give y'all 5 tips on things you can do to just start barrel racing. My first tip is get to know your horse. I know this sounds absolutely crazy, but the more time you spend on their backs, the more you're gonna learn about them. You need to figure out how to ride and ride well before you even take your horse into the arena. You need to get your horse broken. You need to be able to walk your horse through the pasture, take your horse on a trail ride, get your horse broken, make sure they can lope circles, make sure they are picking up their right leads. Make sure that your horse is not in pain. Go to the vet, get everything checked out. Getting your horse broken, knowing your horse very well, doing all the basic things, loping circles, going on trail rides, walking through a pasture. It's gonna teach your horse to trust you. It's gonna make things a lot easier for you later on when you actually are putting them on barrels or hauling them to horse shows. Now the second thing, this one is a little more pricey, but you can always work with what you have, and that is the tack. Make sure that you have decent tack that is not rubbing funny on your horse, that is not causing any blisters, that is not rubbing off any hair. I always want to make sure that my girth doesn't have dirt on it, doesn't have sand on it. Make sure it is clean for horses. Also, it can generate diseases and spread them throughout your whole barn. Now, of course, you don't have to go out and spend $5,000 on a barrel saddle, but I will say a barrel saddle is going to help you out a little more when you're starting actually running. You're going to have a deeper seat so that you can lean back and kind of maneuver yourself more. I personally have a Rockin' R saddle that I use on Jazz, and my dad rides in it too. It's a 14-inch. Make sure your saddle also fits you. That 14-inch is a little big for me, so I also have a 13.5-inch 7 saddle that I ride in. But the main thing is, make sure that your tack is not hindering you in any way. Also, your saddle sometimes can cause your horse to be more sore. Make sure that you're using the right saddle for your horse according to their withers, according to their back. Third tip is to do slow work, y'all. This is so flippin' important. Please remember that you can always add speed later. That's so important. You want to perfect a slow loping pattern before you speed up. You don't want to push your horse until you are loping a beautiful pattern. There is a million different places you can go to see what to do for slow work. What I personally like to do is just go around the barrel multiple times, trying to get them to finish their turns. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you really want to over exaggerate each turn so that they learn to change their leads. Also, if you have a horse like I do with great pedigree, whatever, speed is going to come regardless. Even for a horse like Jazz, who is a grade mare, not registered, speed has come for her. Okay, so my fourth tip is to haul your dang horses to horse shows. I know this sounds so stupid, but whether you are going to a huge show, a small show, whatever, haul your horses, ride them in exhibition, ride them in the warm-up pen. Just ride them. You don't have to pay the $100 or even the $20 to actually run in the show, but make sure that you're exhibitioning them and just hauling them. This is seriously going to build your confidence too, and your horse's confidence. Just take your time, haul them to horse shows, just exhibition them if that's what you're comfortable with. Do whatever you feel like your horse is ready for. Go to fun shows once a month. Do whatever you are comfortable with, and your horse is just gonna get more used to everything, and you're gonna feel more comfortable on them. And my last tip, tip number 5, is just to enjoy yourself. Y'all, this is such a process. I am on year like 11 or something crazy like that, and I have never won the 1D at a big show. Does it suck? Yes. Am I still working on it every single day? Yes. Am I just trying to beat my run last weekend? Yes. I feel like trainers a lot of the times have these things in their mind where they're like, okay, this is how you do it. This is not how you do it. And a lot of times you might be doing the things they think are wrong when another trainer might say, no, that's perfect. That's exactly right. No trainer is the same, and no trainer knows every single horse type. One piece of advice that I got probably 5 years in was, hey, this is not rocket science. It's not that hard. And it just helped me be able to like break free from all of the right, wrong, that whole scenario. It helped me be able to just like free myself from it and be like, okay, like it is not a science at this point. There are some things that you can do to help your horse, but sometimes people may think this helps their horse, but in the long run it may hurt their horse. Like nobody really knows. We're just trying to run around 3 barrels at the end of the day, and it should not be rocket science, and it is not rocket science. Just take your time, have fun, and I hope that all of y'all have great experiences with the people in the industry. Let me know if y'all want any more tips. I'm happy to do any videos on slow work or anything like that. Please just drop it in the comments. Thank y'all so much for watching this video, and I will see y'all next week.